Ride a coach to Banbury Cross to see a fine lady upon a white horse, with rings on her fingers and bells on her toes. She shall have music wherever she goes. A goddess transcendent emerging from earth, encouraging harmony on the world's girth. Always she's there, but seldom is seen, a very fine lady, a very fine queen. Serenely she rides over meadow and vale, ensuring well-being to all on her trail, clad in a gown of the finest green moss, adoringly greeted at Banbury Cross.
Oh, so long. I think that's what they say out here. Anyway, hello again. What an adventure they're having, aren't they? Fancy them finding all them chambers under the Great Pyramid like that. And didn't they do well climbing all the way back up to the Pyramidion? Anyway, now they're on their way back home. But when they cross the English Channel, they're in for a bit of a surprise, because they're attacked by a squadron of Spitfires. Oh, they cause a bit of a kerfuffle because one of the pilots, Pilot Officer Cubby, he gets shot down by one of his mates, Pilot Officer Shaw, and he has to ditch in the drink. It's all right in the end though, because he gets rescued. Oh, before you go, would you like to hear another one of me little jokes? No, I know you wouldn't. Anyway, what did one camel say to the other when they were having a cup of tea? You don't know? Well, he said, just one hump, please. Don't you get it? All right, it's the best I can do anyway. Cheerio for now. See you later.
Look, Andrew, this block has got a picture of Summit of Maze on it. I reckon it might take us back home, don't you? Let's try it. Here we go. We're taking off all right.
Are you sure the plots for that hostile aircraft are correct, SOC Alexander?
Yes, sir, quite sure.
Well, check back with Ventnor, will you?
Yes, sir. Ventnor says plots are accurate, sir.
Good Lord, I've never seen anything move that fast before. It's completely outrunning our Spitfires. What sort of craft can it be? Has he squawked his parrot?
No, sir. Ventnor says he hasn't squawked. Are you all right, Bob? That was a nasty bump. You could have been badly hurt. Whatever is that contraption, Mr. Pennington?
A secret weapon against tanks invading North Aston.
Really? I can't for the life of me see how that will stop a tank.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see, won't we? Those Jerrys won't know what they're up against.
Oh, all right, if you say so. I reckon it's a good thing none of you can shoot straight after that mistake you made the other night when you thought the Home Guard squad from Dunn's Tew was the enemy. Do you think you really ought to have live ammunition? I'm glad we've got such smart men in our Home Guard at North Aston, aren't you, Bob?
You could be right, Janet, but I'm not so sure.
Cheerio, our knights in shining armour.
Hey, look, we've landed back on the maze at Troy Farm. Now we've got to fly back to North Aston Hall, haven't we?
Oh, it's the phone. I do hope it's good news about the children, Auntie. Hello?
Is that Mrs. Hitchens? Oh, it's P.C. Craig here. I'm afraid I've got some very bad news for you, madam. We have just been informed by the military authorities that your son, Captain John Hitchens, has been killed at Normandy. I'm very sorry, ma'am.
Oh, that's absolutely terrible. Thank you for advising me, Constable Craig. I don't suppose you have any news of the children? No, I thought not. Goodbye, Constable. Oh, Auntie, that was dreadful news about my dear son John. I'm afraid he's been killed in action out in Normandy. Oh no, how awful. After I've told Phoebe, Stella and Mark, I must go over to Mr. Garrett and tell him the bad news. Aircraft the children flew up in, and it looks as if it's landing on the driveway. Let's hope the children are back and they're all right. Andrew, Rachel, wherever have you been? And why are you wearing those funny clothes?
We've been to Egypt.
Well, I can hardly believe that, but thank heavens you're all back safely. I've been so worried about you. It's wonderful to have you all back safely, children. Your parents have been so worried. Come along now. You must be starving. I don't suppose you've had any food.
Thank heavens you're back safely. I couldn't believe it when your mother told me that you'd all flown off in some sort of flying machine. Good Lord. Yes, of course. It's the same unidentified machine that my squadron tried to shoot down over the channel. Thank the Lord we didn't succeed. God, I don't like to think what could have happened to you all. Our pilots have at least 3 weeks training before they were able to fly. I must say you certainly caused havoc at the airbase. It seems you nearly collided with one of our Lancaster bombers returning from a bombing run. The skipper said he was completely outmanoeuvred by an unidentified aircraft, and he was unfortunately in his haste he pranged the Lancaster quite badly because he forgot to lower his landing wheels.
Oh, we managed to fly it quite easily, Mr. English. But will we get into trouble?
Under the circumstances, no, I don't think so, but the War Department will certainly want some questions answered and a full report on all of this. I understand from Mr. Hitchens that the Ministry boffins at the War Department have been trying to find that, what do you call it?
It's called a pyramidion, Mr. English.
Yes, well, it seems that the pyramidion could be vitally important to the war effort. Its propulsion could be used for developing new aircraft that could help us win the war.
Really, Mr. English? Cool, I hope so. It's ever so exciting flying the pyramidion. We had a lot of adventures with it.
Well, I'd like to hear more about your adventures, but I've got to be on duty. Thank heavens you're alright, children. I must be off. Goodbye, everyone.
Well, it's such a relief to have you back home safely, children. But while you were away, I received some terribly sad news concerning your dear brother John. I'm afraid he has been killed in war action in a place called Normandy in France.
Oh no, Mother, not John.
I'm sorry, dear, but that is what the authorities have told me. Sadly, there are many brave people who lose their lives in a terrible war like this one, but we must all try to be strong and carry on as normal as possible and do what we can to win this war. I'm sure that is what your brother, John, would have wanted us to do. I'm afraid there is more sad news to tell you concerning those American soldiers who were recently staying here. I understand that most of them have been killed at a place called Omaha Beach, which is also in Normandy.
They were our friends, Mother. Surely they didn't all get killed.
I'm sorry, dear, but that is what the authorities have told me. Now, dry your tears and run along to bed, because you can't have had much sleep during your adventures in Egypt. I shall have to let Professor Summerton know that you have brought the pyramidion back safely, and I'm sure he will be delighted because he was asked to find it by the War Department. Oh yes, of course, the War Department will want to take it away so they can find out how it works and perhaps develop new engines that will help us win the war. If they do, it will be because you all managed to discover it so cleverly. I'm really proud of you. Now, off to bed, children. Sleep well, and you can tell me more about your adventures in the morning.
Oh, good morning, Andrew. I'm getting all our things out of the pyramidion. I suppose our tent is still in the churchyard, so we'll have to find it and put it up again in the top field, won't we? Oh, you're looking a bit sad. Is something wrong?
I've got something terrible to tell you, Peter. My brother John has been killed in battle, and so have all those American soldiers.
Oh, I don't know what to say. I'm really sorry about your brother being killed. But surely all our American friends weren't killed as well. Isn't this war horrible?
It's true. Mother told me last night. I still can't believe it. But Mother says we've got to be brave and carry on as normal.
Oh, here comes Professor Summerton now, Andrew. Good morning, Mortimer.
Nice to see you again, Hermione.
Please accept my sincere sympathy with the sad news of your son's death, Hermione.
Oh, thank you, Mortimer. Yes, it's dreadful news.
So, this is the flying machine, is it? Quite remarkable. Hello, boys. Good to see you safe and sound after your escapades. Congratulations for finding the pyramidion. How you managed to discover its whereabouts is a mystery to me, but you'll have to tell me about that later. I understand that the Boffins will be taking it away today, so I would like to have a look inside now while I've still got the chance. We may never see it again unless it ends up in a museum one day. However did you manage to fly it?
It's not difficult, Professor. Come and have a look and we'll show you the controls.
Good heavens! I've never come across anything like this from antiquity before. It really makes you wonder where it could possibly have come from.
Yes, sir, it certainly does. I don't know, sir. It's not like anything I've seen before.
Well, it's really quite easy to fly, Professor. I'll show you how you do it. Look, you turn this key over here first, then that starts the engine. Then you have to use these levers here to go up and down or left and right. Would you like to go up for a flight? That would be good, wouldn't it?
Well, yes, I suppose it... All right, my boy.
I'm not sure I want to do that. Will it be safe?
Oh, it's all right, Mother. I won't make you go too high.
Are you ready? Hold tight. We're on.
Oh, I can see my rose beds down there, but we are getting rather high. Can you make it go down? Now please, Andrew. Well, that wasn't so bad after all, but I am glad we're back on terra firma. Oh look, I can see a lorry coming down the drive. I suppose it must be the War Department coming to collect the Pyramidion.
Oh, hello, Mrs. Hitchens. It's nice to meet you. I'm Major Raybould, and I've been detailed to collect this strange machine. I've been told that your children have actually flown it. Is that true?
Oh, hello, Major Raybould. Yes, it's quite true. They've even flown to Egypt and back in it. Would you believe?
That's incredible.
Will you excuse me, please, Major? I believe that is one of the War Department ministers who has just arrived. Hello, Mr. Edwards. Nice to see you again.
Hello there, Mrs. Hitchens. How nice to see you again. So that's the mysterious flying machine from antiquity we've been searching for. How extraordinary. You know, I got very anxious when I learned that the children had found it and then disappeared in it. How could they possibly have flown? It beats me. I should like to question them about the Pyramidion for my report to the Prime Minister.
Yes, Mr. Edwards.
From first sight, I have no doubt that this machine will prove to be of national importance if we can develop a new form of propulsion from it. I also have no doubt that the children will receive recognition from a high level, most probably His Majesty the King.
Really? Well, I find that very difficult to believe.
Can you tell me more about the controls? I need to know as much as possible for my report to the Prime Minister, Mr. Winston Churchill. How do you turn the engine on?
Oh, it's really quite easy, Mr. Edwards. All you have to do is to turn this key here, look.
It's ever so easy to fly, Mr. Edwards. Would you like to go up for a flight?
Well, I'm not too sure about that.
Right, man, get this piece of kit onto the trailer.
Right you are, sir. Straight away, sir.
Come on, Corporal. We will follow the transport back to base.
Yes, sir.
I'm really sorry to see the Pyramidion go, aren't you? I wish we could have kept it to play with.
The boys tell me that they found the whereabouts of the Pyramidion from a secret code they managed to decipher from the mosaic, sir.
Really, Wilkinson? From a secret code, you say? Oh, there seems to be no limit to the skill of these children, does there?
Definitely there, and it was very exciting when we were in the king's chamber. We found a secret passage to lead a long way under the pyramid. We had to go through a dark maze where there was a horrible creature that chased us. It was very tall and had a face like a fox.
Does actually fit an Egyptian god called Anubis. But I can't understand how you could possibly have come into contact with him. He is thought to have come from the world of mythology.
Well, when we got through the maze, we had to go down a long spiral staircase that went down ever such a long way, and then we found a wonderful chamber that we think was a tomb for all of the kings and queens called Ptolemy.
Well, you've certainly got very good imaginations, and all this makes a very good story. But I'm afraid it's seriously flawed, because the Ptolemies are known to be in tombs at a place called Alexandria. What have you got there, Peter? But...
Oh, we think this is a map that one of the Ptolemies made, Professor. And we've seen it before in one of Mrs. Hitchens' books. And we thought the faces round the edge are blurring at each other, so we joined them up by drawing lines on a bit of tracing paper, and then we got a sort of pyramid. And when we used our secret code, by measuring the sides of the triangles, we got the name of Ptolemy.
But this map was thought to have been lost in medieval times, and only copies of it are known to exist.
Well, we brought it back because we thought you would like to have it for your museum. And we found lots of other things that we think belong to Cleopatra in another chamber.
But what makes you think it was Cleopatra?
Well, we've seen some pictures of her in books, and there were some statues there that looks just like her.
Yes, and there were some beautiful dresses and jewellery as well. Look, I brought back this lovely bracelet.
And I got a lovely gold horse. And I got this ear pearl necklace.
Well, I cannot deny that you've managed to get some very interesting artefacts from somewhere. But I hope you don't think I'm being rude by doubting all this, children.
Well, I might be sticking my neck out again here, sir, but I don't agree. It seems quite obvious to me that Ptolemy deliberately arranged the cherubs around the edge so that this shape would be formed. And it shows a secret sign of Ptolemy which this young man has found.
That's all very well, Wilkinson, but we have been talking about two different Ptolemies here, you know. Ptolemy I was a Greek general of Alexander the Great in about 323 BC. But the Ptolemy who drew this map was a Roman geographer based in Alexandria about 150 AD. So how do you account for that?
Well, sir, if my theory that the parents of Ptolemy I gave him his name from their knowledge of the Great Pyramid's geometry, then this secret was passed down through all the generations until the last one, Claudius Ptolemy, who decided to leave this clue.
Good Lord, Wilkinson. I think I'm beginning to get your drift. If this theory proves to be true, then it will certainly send a buzz around the Egyptologists' world, won't it?
It certainly will, sir.
Goodness me, is that the time? Oh, I really must be getting back to the museum. I have to write up a report on all this, and I simply cannot thank you children enough for all that you've achieved. Oh, it's quite remarkable.
Yes, I'm proud of them, Professor, and I've been informed that they will receive recognition by possibly His Majesty the King.
Struth, is that true, Mother? Who told you that?
It was Mr. Edwards, the man from the ministry, Andrew, but I do wish you would stop using that word. It does annoy me.
Sorry, Mother.
My congratulations again, children. It seems you may have made a major discovery that perhaps is comparable with the discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb. Unfortunately, we will not be able to carry out an expedition to the Great Pyramid until after the war. However, now that the Pyramidion has been found, we cannot really justify carrying on the dig here. Our brief from the War Office was to search for the Pyramidion, and thanks to you clever children, this has been achieved. Mr. Wilkinson will have the site tidied up next week, Hermione, and then perhaps you'll be able to get back to normal.
Back to normal, Mortimer? Perhaps you will kindly explain what that is. With these children, I cannot see life ever being normal. I just wonder what they will get up to next.
Well, yes, that's a good point, Hermione. I think perhaps you should all take things easy for a while. I reckon you've all had enough adventures to last a lifetime just recently. Goodbye, everyone.